kids in the world, this is Lani. Welcome to my channel. I'll be extremely happy if you can sit and join me throughout the session as I tackle my English lesson about one of the 8 parts of speech, which is very important as we engage ourselves in communicating with people around us every day in our lives. You and I together can make this boring day into something worthwhile when we can have much fun and thrills. Awesome. So, what are we waiting for? Let's prepare. Okay, let me share to you now my slides. This is it. Okay, now our lesson is about adverb. And at the end of this lesson, yes, you will be able to pick out adverbs used in the sentence and also construct interesting sentence using adverbs, right? So let's define adverb. Adverb describes verb, adjective, or another adverb. Let me explain to you this one bit by bit. Let's start with adverb describes verb. Let's have a look at this sentence. He runs quickly. The word quickly here describes verb runs. So therefore, quickly is an adverb. Good. Now, this time we have adverb describes adjective. Let's have a look at the sentence. He's an extremely quick runner. Quick here is an adjective that describes the pronoun he. And the word extremely here describes the word quick, which is an adjective. So therefore, extremely here is an adverb. Now this time, adverb describes another adverb. Now in this sentence, he runs extremely quickly. The word quickly here describes the word runs, which is a verb in the sentence. And quickly here, since it describes the verb runs, this is an adverb. Now another word which is extremely describes the word quickly, which is an adverb. So therefore, extremely is an adverb that describes another adverb. Okay. Now, adverb also tells how something happens, like talk quietly. How do you talk? Quietly. So can you think of another adverbs that tell how the action happens or how something happens? So these are some of the examples. Gracefully, slowly, sadly, softly, carefully, and well. Adverb also describes how often something happens, as in always work. How often do you work? Always. Another example for this are never, often, sometimes, rarely, and always. Adverb also tells where something happens, like go up. Where do you go? Up. Can you think of another examples that tells where something happens? These are some of the examples: inside, here, there, outside, and park. Adverb also tells when something happens, as in cook, Now. And do you cook? Now. Some examples for this are today, then, tomorrow, and yesterday. Can you think of another examples? Perfect. Adverb also tells to what extent something happens, like almost crying. To what extent he's crying? Almost. Some of the examples for this are extremely, very, barely, to, and entirely. Oh, good. Now, let's have a look at this dull sentence. My mother is happy. How can we make this into an interesting one? So we can add more adverbs to make it interesting sentence. We might make this way. My mother is always happy when I dance very gracefully at school. So we added always, very, gracefully, and school. So those are adverbs that we added to make this sentence interesting one. So always here describes how often mother is happy. Always. And the adverb very here describes how I dance, to what extent I dance gracefully. So very, very gracefully. And then gracefully here is an adverb that describes how I dance. I dance gracefully. And the adverb school here tells where I dance. I dance at school. All right. So this time, let's do it together. Let's construct interesting sentence by adding more adverbs to it. Now, this is a kind of a dull sentence. The sun is hot. Can we do it together? So we can do it this way. I never go outside when the sun is too hot at noon. So what do you think are the adverbs here? Can you help me? So we have never, outside, to, and noon. This is awesome, right? Now, this time let's pick out the adverbs. Number 1, I sometimes go to the beach. Number 2, the moon partly appears at night. Number 3, what you plant now, you will harvest later. And number 4, I almost cry when he holds my hand very tightly. Are you ready to give your answers? Let's do it together. Number 1, the adverb here is sometimes, because it tells how often I go to the beach. And another adverb here is beach, because it tells where do I go, right? Now, what about number 2? The adverb here is brightly. It tells how the moon appears, right? And another adverb in the sentence here is night. It tells when the moon appears. All right, perfect. Number 3, the adverb here is now. It tells when you plant. And another adverb here is later. It also tells when you harvest. And the last one, the last number, the adverb here is almost. It tells to what extent I cry. almost. And another here we have very. To what extent he holds my hand tightly. So very. And the last adverb here we have tightly. It describes how he holds my hand. Now, that's all for now. Thank you for watching and listening. This is your friend Lani Ramos. If you have some questions, just follow the link www.facebook.com/LaniEnglishTeacher. Bye.